Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the Doormen Podcast. I'm your host, Chief. Cheers. It's a new year, 2025. It's going to be a good year. I hope you enjoyed it, brought it in right. And welcome back to the Doormen Podcast. Appreciate you guys checking in. Today, we got a quick video, a couple of things I want to discuss. The responsibility of carrying a weapon. One of the main tools of our trade as a protector is a gun. We have to have weapons because the bad guys who want to take the jewelry off of the person we're with, take their money, do them harm, they have weapons. So we must have weapons. And I want to talk about the responsibility that it is as an individual, as a guard, to carry a weapon. Because make no mistake about it, it is a huge responsibility. It's something that I don't think is talked about enough. Guys who are looking to get into the industry, it's not like the police officer or whatever, where you kind of know that it comes with it. You get guys who get into this game and have never, held a gun before, who've never shot a gun. And I would urge you not only to train, but get comfortable with that gun. Carry that gun every day if you can. If you're in states that allow it, get your credentials in order so that you can carry that gun every day. Shoot at the range, because the responsibility that comes with that gun is a lot. There are even police officers who get nervous when it's time to get into action. They're trigger shy. So you never know how you're going to react when it comes to a situation, especially involving lethal force. So you got to be used to it and you got to train with it. Now, the responsibility that comes with carrying a firearm is significant, and it extends far beyond just physically carrying the weapon, right? It involves a deep commitment to safety, legal knowledge, and also ethical considerations. So when we speak about safety, it's what I just talked about: training with your gun, understanding the mechanics of the gun and how to carry it effectively, having the right equipment, holsters, and things like that to carry the gun in a way that it's not going to be taken from you. And safety as far as training, learning how to hit what you're aiming at. That takes time. Similar to anything else. When I first picked up a basketball and you start shooting, it's going to be a lot of bricking going on. It's not until you hone in on that shot, realize, okay, if I put my finger here, I got to follow through. All of these same things and these same type of nuances are in shooting. You've got to learn where to put the pinky, where to put the thumb, the placement here, how to properly look down the sights, and what does it mean to get a sight picture, and a recoil, and different ammo, and different calibers, the kickback that's involved in those things. There's a lot to consider when you're firing a weapon. Be committed to becoming good with that weapon. So all of that has to do with safety. Because if you're missing shots, that bullet is going somewhere. As they say, a bullet has no name on it. So when you fire it, it's going somewhere. And so it's a big responsibility. If anything were to happen and you pull that firearm, you don't want to hit the wrong person. That's the safety aspect. Legal knowledge. Carrying a firearm, there is a big responsibility to stay informed with local laws regarding how you can carry. Can you carry concealed? Do you have to carry out where people can see? What type of guns can you carry? What type of ammo can you carry? Ammo capacity. There are a lot of things to consider when carrying a weapon. Certain places you can never carry in. It has to be, signage posted and things like that. But it's about keeping up with what's going on legally and with the laws in your area or wherever you'll be traveling regarding guns, because you don't want to get caught up in a situation. It happens more often than you think, where guys get jammed up with a firearm somewhere that they shouldn't be carrying, and they go to jail, and it can get real serious real quick. And oftentimes there's nobody to save you or help you, because the client you're working with is just assuming that you've got your ducks in a row, because that is an essential part of our job. So a lot of people who hire guards, they're not checking certifications and checking to see if everything is legit. They're just assuming it is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing this. It's an essential function of the job. So the legal aspects are incredibly important. And lastly, the ethical considerations. When you're dealing with the ethical side of carrying a firearm, it means that you will be in charge of deciding when to administer lethal force and when not to. That's a huge responsibility. That's a big thing to think about. Sometimes it's not about what you can do in a situation, it's about what you should do. These are conversations you need to have with yourself. These are thoughts you need to have with yourself. And it's about doing the right thing always, even sometimes when you could have done something else because you legally could. Ethically, you should always be guided by your internal compass, by what you know is right and wrong. And so I can think of many situations, even that I've been in, where knowing the law like I do, I probably did have legal justification for using deadly force. But because I didn't think it was 100% necessary, I didn't. And unless someone is in imminent danger, unless someone is committing a forcible felony and you're stopping the commission of a forcible felony, unless you feel that you are in imminent danger and there's no way for you to get away, there are certain times when lethal force is required. But you've got to understand the responsibility that comes with taking a life, ending a life. It's no joke. I want to show a couple of quick videos based on the three things we just talked about. So let's look at this first one, see what you think.
Who the fuck are you talking to? Don't fucking touch me, dog. Who the fuck are you talking to, dog? Like, really?
So this is a situation. You see a guy comes in a store. He runs into an officer. They kind of bump into each other. The guy pushes the officer and for some reason pulls his firearm out. He was concealed carrying. He pulls his firearm from his holster. Things you have to consider. When you pull that firearm, that is imminent danger. Anybody can articulate whenever you have a firearm brandished, you pull it from your holster and have it out, you are a sitting duck. So you better make sure when you pull it out that you have, number one, you're prepared to use it and you have proper justification for even pulling it out. But even more than that, when you're pulling out a firearm in any situation, you are opening yourself up to a world of possibilities. You're opening yourself up for someone to see you from a distance, not know what's going on, think that you may be robbing the place, think that you may be committing a forcible felony, pull their firearm and put you down. And it's one of those things that you need to really consider before you pull it out. Always, never just pull it out for show. Never pull it out like this guy did when the situation does not absolutely call for it. Because as you see here, when he pulled it out, it's a deadly threat already. So this officer responds. He doesn't pull it out and start talking, and we're not having a Mexican standoff. That's not the way it works. He pulls the gun out and immediately begins firing. And he is completely justified in this shooting. He can articulate his life was in danger and he felt threatened. So not a smart move by this guy. Sad to see things like this, but this is a gun owner who did not consider and did not understand the weight of having and carrying a firearm. It is a major responsibility. You're carrying life and death in your hands. Be careful with that. Let's run through these next videos quickly. So in this situation, you got a guy. He's with his woman. He's walking up to a doorway. Might be an elevator. Not sure what's on the other side, but they're waiting in the hallway. And someone comes by. This guy's got a gun, right? You can see it right here. It's a gun in his right hand. He walks by. He looks like he might be robbing his people. We're not sure. We can't hear the audio, but he pulls a gun out and he's threatening these people. This guy in the red is concealed carrying. He's got full justification. Once you brandish your weapon, understand that anybody around has got justification to put you down. And he lets this guy have it all the way. And he keeps it up until it's empty. So another situation, I just want to hone in on the fact that when you're carrying a weapon, it's not a toy. You don't pull it for play, because once you do, somebody else is not going to be playing with you. So understand that responsibility. Understand what comes with carrying that weapon. And the last one I want to talk about here, guy comes in the store. This is a security guard here. Guy comes in the store. He's got, this is along the lines of safety that we talked about earlier. We talked about safety, ethics, and legal knowledge. The guy in the red comes in, one tug, boom, takes his gun. This is worst case scenario. This is all bad, because there's nothing you can do here. And so I just wanted to show this really quickly as well, talking about the responsibility of carrying a weapon, having the proper gear, making sure you're getting a level 3 holster, especially if you're working, making sure that no one can just take your gun from you, because people are paying attention. If you're working a job, if you're doing something and someone can get a firearm from you easily, they will take it, because once the firearm's in their hand, what are you going to do? Things to think about if you're going to be carrying a weapon. Do your homework. Make sure that you understand the ethical decisions that you may have to make. Be prepared to go all the way or don't carry it. Understand the legal aspects, not brandishing your weapon for no reason. Understanding when you can use deadly force, when it's justified, and then understanding the safety concerns that come along with carrying a deadly weapon. These things are extremely important. But look, man, I appreciate you guys checking in. This has been episode 17 of the Doormen Podcast. Do me a favor, man. Leave me a like, a comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of these situations down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.